pylori? Did you get a message from me?
No, I don't know.
Okay, good. So basically, the endoscopy was all okay. You don't have celiac disease, but what you do have, and let me show you here, is, and it's nothing bad.
Can I?
I'm gonna give you a
Camera?
copy of it.
Can I put the?
No, you don't need a camera. I'm just gonna give you a copy of it.
Oh, okay.
Give you a copy of everything.
It's not recording, just the voice.
You can record me. I was meant to be a star.
Thanks. I was on TV.
That's what I tell my wife, huh?
I was on TV.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, for reporting gunshots in the state fair.
Huh.
I was all over the news.
Oh,
But this is for me and for my kids.
Oh, okay. So let me show you here. So this is what we did, right? So we took biopsies all over here, okay? So when we take biopsies of the stomach here, we're looking for H. pylori, which is a bacteria that's very important to treat. It can be a precursor to cancer, to ulcers, and all that stuff, but in and of itself, it's not a big deal. We take biopsies here for celiac disease, which is a gluten allergy. So you don't have celiac, but here you have gastritis H. pylori. So you need to be treated with antibiotics for 14 days. So I'm going to give you that today. And then after you finish the antibiotic, in a month from then, we're going to retreat you. We're going to retest you to make sure that the antibiotic worked. Okay?
Now, is this gastritis H. pylori responsible for?
It could be responsible for abdominal pain, bloating, and
the GERD.
No, not the GERD, but for abdominal pain and for bloating and discomfort. It's a good thing to treat it. I think you're going to feel better.
My mother has it.
Yeah, so we're hoping to get rid of yours, okay? The
Yes.
esophagus looks okay. There are no precursors of Barrett's esophagus, which is what people get when they have persistent reflux. Now, when you we took out all these polyps, you had a lot of polyps. Yeah, you had a lot of polyps, and 3 of them came back benign but precancerous. So meaning that, like, it's a good thing we took them out because these are the type of polyps that develop into things. So that's a very good thing that we did that. The only issue that
For my kids.
How many kids?
Hey, Ma. Hey, estoy aquí en la oficina del doctor y no sé si recibiste mi mensaje, pero estuviste correcto, tengo H. pylori. So, quería ver si maybe tenías tú alguna pregunta. H. pylori. H. pylori, la bacteria. Te voy a poner en el speaker para que hablas con él. Alright, hold on. This is my mom, Laura Alarcon. This is Dr. Code, the daddy and mom.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning.
That bacteria that my son says is the one that everybody has, but some people activate it and some.
Yeah, so he has it. So we're gonna give him antibiotics for it, and there's a 90% chance that it's gonna go away within 2 weeks. So I'm not worried about it at all.
Okay, yeah, because we had some of all, including myself, and I had a treatment for that. We had a treatment with that. My mom had died with she had a bleeding ulcers, and the secondary cancer was in the esophagus.
Yeah.
And that is what we have a test for that, and they found out that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're gonna treat this, because this risk factor will go away in 2 weeks. So I'm not worried about it. We found it. There's no lesion. There's no problems in the stomach right now, and we're gonna treat it, and it's gonna be gone. So that's it.
Did you have any negative?
Reactions for the antibiotics. It's going to have some.
Yeah, it could be. You know, antibiotics can have some side effects, but he should be okay. He should be okay.
Okay,
No,
so
he's not
much.
gonna drink. He's not gonna drink alcohol. Yeah, and it might give him a little bit of a bellyache, but it's worth it for 2 weeks, so that we don't have problems in the future or anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So the antibiotics que tú cogiste no te dio like depresión o algo así, o una mala experiencia.
No, it's just nausea, vomit. I understand Spanish, so.
Okay, all right. Okay, y los polyps salieron. Well, it's official. Today is Thursday, July 20th, 2017, and I got my results back from the test that I did. Of the polyps that they found, 3 were precancerous, which means that they were turning into cancer. It's not known exactly when they would have turned into cancer. It could have been 10 years, it could have been 20 years, it could have been within a couple of years. But the point is that they were definitely going to more than likely turn into cancer, especially since there's a history of that in our family. It was a good thing that I was preemptive, especially at the age of 40, having these, polyps removed is great because I had a lot of them. Now, in reference to the another thing that's interesting, they found a bacteria called H. pylori. H. pylori, P-Y-L-O-R-I. This is a bacteria that is pretty common in people, but that gets activated in some people for one reason or another. My mother had it, your grandmother, and now I have it. So I'm going to be on 2 weeks of bacteria treatment in order to get rid of it. There's a 90% chance of getting rid of that bacteria. That bacteria is, I believe, the cause of my gastritis, apparently, and other discomfort that I experience. So it's good that we're taking advantage of that. The final thing that I'll share in this recording is that, my mother, regardless of our challenging relationship, was certainly an important part of this whole journey. She had the H. pylori, and speaking with her about her experience helped me better understand my potential challenges and things to look for. So I guess what I wanted to communicate is the importance of, speaking with me when you get older, or at least looking at these videos, because that's why I record them. So that way you can have an idea of medically what goes on in our family, what to expect, what to look for, because my mother's presence during this process it helps. She gave me some ideas that at the last moment reminded me of something. So I'm planning on being here for a very long time and being with you guys, but just in case I'm not, that's why I'm recording these videos. But yeah, stay in contact with me, always talk with me, because I'm here to help you and I love you. Alright, that's it for now. Oh, and by the way, I'm in this really cool diner that is like in New York City, and it looks like it's from the 1920s. I love it. It's great. It has this old look, like 1960s almost. Alright, see you guys next episode. Alright, well, today is Friday, July 21st, 2017, and I have what I think is an important update. Important because I've spoken to you all about a psychiatrist that I was seeing by the name of Dr. Sean Luo, L-U-O, and for a very long time I would speak highly of him because there's a lot that he did do to help. He helped me when it came to medicine, that helped me with like depression and anxiety and certain compulsive disorders that I was dealing with. Therapeutically, however, it wasn't as productive and helpful as I wanted it to be, and for the last month or so, most of our time has been spent on him, I think over psychoanalyzing, trying to find the root cause of why I do the things that I do, and not enough, I thought, putting into play action items and steps that I could take to improve and things of that sort. But today an even greater development happened, and unfortunate, but the long and short of it, I can't go into details because this is recorded and it's on YouTube, and I don't think it's a good idea to put stuff like this out there, but Make a long story short, we had a special arrangement when it came to how he would get paid. You know, we made arrangements so that my insurance company would pay him, and so that I wouldn't have to pay anything out of pocket, but rather we had a mutual understanding that I would see him and that we would bill Cigna, and that Cigna would, you know, in turn, sorry, I'm just following the traffic people. Cigna would in turn pay what he was owed, etc., etc. So nothing illegal, nothing bad. It was just, you know, the agreement was I wouldn't have to pay out of pocket, and he would accept what Cigna would give, and that's that. But he didn't send me, you know, what's called a super bill, which is the way in which he would send me the information. So about a month and a half went by of us having our sessions, and he finally sent me the super bill, and I submitted it on time and did everything that I said I was going to do in a timely fashion. And he asked me to get an update from Cigna as to whether or not they received the bill. And when I called, I found out that he submitted the bill incorrectly, and because of that, it was going to add somewhat of a delay in him receiving his payment. I'm going to pause here and then continue in the next. So as a result of his mistake, now he started getting nervous that he wasn't going to get paid. In our last, not today, but the one before this, our last session, he started to, like, he made me feel very uncomfortable, as if he was questioning my integrity. And I found that problematic because he's my psychotherapist, and I need to be able to speak to him without feeling questioned or doubted, or as if what I share with him might lead him to question me. So today when I came in, I addressed that with him, and, you know, he acknowledged that he was having a tough time separating his need and desire to get paid from his working with me and his knowledge of me and things of that sort. And you know, at the end of the day, like, the way that psychotherapists work is they don't tell you what, you know, they want you to do. They guide you so that you decide it for yourself. It's textbook psychotherapy. I study psychology in part in school, and it's something that I've noticed and even read. But anyway, ultimately what he led me to was that pretty much we just shouldn't see each other again, at least not for a 3-month basis, until he is remunerated, you know, and until I can feel comfortable that he trusts in me, or something to that effect. You know, I thought maybe like a month or something. He suggested 3 months. You know, and the problem with this, in conclusion, the problem with this is, number one, it became clear to me that although I'm sure he genuinely did want to help me, that he also, I don't know, maybe he's going through financial trouble. He just moved into a new office. Maybe he needs to rely on, you know, the money that he's receiving, and maybe there's another patient that will fill my time slot and pay him more consistently versus him having to wait for Cigna to pay him. I don't know, but it became very clear to me that, you know, money took priority for him, and he even pretty much said it, that money took priority for him in this case over my well-being. And I thought that that was fucked up, because he's a medical doctor. He's not supposed to, you know, put money or finances above my medical well-being. What if I was suicidal, you know? And the second thing that I found problematic with it is that right now I'm actually going through a crisis, you know, and I shared that with him. I told him that I'm going through a difficult time right now, and I'm kind of just left out there right now. And it's very disappointing for me, especially because, you know, I may not be the best father in the world, I acknowledge that, but, you know, one thing that I've tried my best to do is to be there for you guys, because You know, I love you, and I never wanted you to ever feel what I have felt, which is to, you know, be abandoned by a father who wasn't there for me, and to, you know, really be abandoned by a lot of people. You know, really the only person, you know, outside of maybe my mother, and even that I question, really the only person that I feel has never abandoned me is your mother. You know, and I think that that's why, you know, I've grown to love her as much as I do, because, you know, no matter what, she's always been there for me. I'm gonna pause and continue because this is so, you know, the act of being abandoned again was something that really hurt me, and it bothered me because it's in a professional capacity. You know, I even question whether or not this is, I don't want to say illegal, but whether or not some ethical rule has been broken. You know, because I'm in a very bad place right now, and in essence he's just kind of left me out there on my own because he hasn't been paid in a manner that he is comfortable with, although I've done everything I was supposed to do on my part, and he fucked up. So, you know, in conclusion, I guess I no longer recommend him based on that factor. That he kind of left me hanging dry right now when I'm going through a pretty tough situation. And yeah, you know, I really hope that when you guys get older that, you know, I'll be there. That's why I do the fucking colonoscopies and shit. That's why they took out 3 polyps that were pre-cancerous, by the way. So I succeeded in my quest of defeating cancer before the fight even started. You know, had those polyps removed before that pre-cancer could turn into cancer. And I'm gonna go for other stuff. I'm gonna get my prostate checked out. I'm doing as much as I can. And the reason why is because, you know, the only reason why I'm doing it is because I want to live long. No, it's not that. I mean, if I were to die tomorrow, I'm okay. What I'm not okay with is leaving you guys alone. You know, that is my fear. That is why I do what I do. That is why I go see doctors, because I want to try to be here for as long as I can. That's why I make these videos, because I don't want, my fear is someday, God forbid, something happens to me, and that there isn't a record that you can at least look back on and hear from me on topics. Which is why, if you are watching these videos, I've tried to touch a lot of different topics, you know, so that you could hear what my perspective on things were. So, yeah, I don't ever want you to feel what it's like to be abandoned. At least not, you know, by me, you know, because I love you guys, and it fucking sucks to be abandoned by people. So with that said, I no longer recommend Dr. Sean Luo. You know, we'll see if I find another psychotherapist in Jersey that maybe can be a little bit more productive and not give up on me so easily. Hey folks, my name is Mike, former patient of Dr. Sean Luo, recording this quick video to give you my synopsis review now that I've had my last visit with him. First, very briefly on the pros. I liked Dr. Luo initially because I felt that his first couple of days were very thorough when it came to first getting to know me. He went through a very detailed question and answer session that I thought was good because it was first intended to identify my needs in order to provide a solution. Second pro is that he provided, I think, the right medicine. So he picked the right medicine that helped me with some of the challenges that I was dealing with. The challenges, however, that I had with Dr. Luo, which is actually what is leading me to record this video. First, the minor ones. There were 2 times in which he either did not hear me or forgot to write down medicines and dosages that I had told him that I was taking. That happened twice. He probably begged to differ, but you know, I have my perspective, and I remember telling him that I was taking a certain medicine and a certain dosage, and he got the dosage wrong or just didn't write down the medicine on another time, and I had to tell him and whatever. The other thing too that was relatively minor, shit, I forgot what it was. But onto the main issue, which is why I'm recording this video. There was a mishap when it came to payment. We had agreed that my insurance company would pay him and that we would submit bills. I did everything I was asked to do in a timely fashion. And he made a mistake on one of the bills when it came to the date. He put the wrong year. And as a result, it delayed his payment. And to make a long story short, it made the relationship uncomfortable because we had a meeting where it was all about payment, and it created an environment where I felt that he was using what he understood about me to create this false image of me when it came to whether or not I was going to make sure that Cigna paid him on time, although I had done everything that he asked me to do in a timely fashion, and he had even spoken with Cigna and confirmed that everything was done in a timely fashion. To make matters worse, this last time that I saw him, I'm in the midst of a crisis, not financially but psychologically, and because he hasn't been paid, he's chosen that, or decided that we shouldn't see each other for 3 months, right when I'm in the middle of a fucking crisis. So it became clear to me, and as he himself admitted, he has a difficult time separating the financial aspect and his financial need from his practice, separating that from care for his patients. So much so that even though I told him I'm going through a crisis right now, I'm not in a good place, he left me hanging dry because he didn't get the full payment from Cigna. And that's fucked up, because I need therapy right now, and I'm out of a therapist for 3 months, and that's not how it should be. Thank God I'm not suicidal. Anyway, that's my review of Dr. Sean Luo. Nice guy, will help you find the right medicines, but unfortunately I think he puts the money before he does the care, and that's his weakness. I don't know if it's because he moved into this bigger New York City office, and maybe that's why he wants to replace me with maybe a customer that's paying on a weekly basis versus waiting for Cigna to reimburse him. I don't know, but no doctor should ever put money before care of a patient. That's my review of Dr. Sean Luo.